Hello everyone, I'm Overcord95, The Wandering Knight, and I'm doing a little bit of something different just because, for two reasons. One, I was going to do a stream tonight, but my internet's being kind of in and out. It's not giving me a good thing, and I don't know why. I'll figure it out. But the other reason is I really enjoyed doing the unboxing video for PlayStation 5, and I thought doing some different, shorter videos might be kind of a cool change of pace, instead of just hour-long streams and stuff like that. So we're going to go through, I just kind of wanted to show you guys some of the stuff that I kind of collect and buy and sell and stuff like that. Stuff I do off camera on other media, like on Whatnot, eBay, all these kind of stuff where I buy and sell for my personal collection, or to, if I find something cool, I turn around and sell it. But yeah, I just want to kind of show you a few things. The biggest thing is you need to know about me is I'm a nerd. I am a bona fide, pure, grade A nerd. Comics, movies, TV shows, you know, even not fantasy books, all that kind of stuff I'm into. So, I thought I'd show a small smattering of my kind of more comic booky side of stuff. So, like I collect CGC comics. And I have a few that I kind of wanted to show. And there are a ton of other channels that do this stuff, but I thought it'd be kind of cool to show my stuff, because I personally haven't seen some of this stuff pop up in other people's channels. And also just, it's cool. So I have here, and so I have a couple of my CGCs, or a comic that I can't, I actually have one here that I cannot get CGC'd because it's too big. Things I'm going to get CGC'd, I'm actually going to send myself in to get grades for. And then some Funko Pops that are in my personal collection. So yeah, so right here, I don't know how well that's going to show, hopefully pretty well, is Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles number 8. It's the featuring, first one guest starring Cerebus. It's an 8.5. This is actually, I found, this one's kind of cool because I bought a box lot of comics at an auction for I think $12. Somewhere right around there. And this was inside of it. It's a fairly early Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and it's the first one with their crossover event stuff with Cerebus. It's a wraparound cover, and the fact that it came out of a box not being bagged and boarded at an 8.5 is really cool to me. So that's in my personal collection. If I can eventually get a better copy, I will and replace. But for now, that was just kind of a cool find. Then I have this one. This is actually a weird comic because I can remember buying this over a decade ago in my early teens at a comic book show, loose. I bought this as a reader comic for like $3-4 maybe. And I sent it in just to see what I would get for it, because I've read it, I don't need to keep it. And it's the Wonder Woman number 1 at a 9.8. And again, I need to iterate this. I read this comic. I opened it up, I turned the pages, and it still came out as a 9.8. I mean, this is from the 287. So this comic's over 30 years old. And again, it has a beautiful wraparound cover. Because this is when she got rebooted in 87. They restarted her and stuff. And this is the run. And actually, I have it out for CGC right now. Wonder Woman number 7, the first appearance of Cheetah. And I can't decide whether I want to try and sell that one because of the movie, or if I want to keep it for myself. I'm not a huge Wonder Woman collector. But when you got a number 1 and you end up with a 9.8, it's kind of like the signs are there to put it in the box and never let it go. Especially with the white pages, that's also pretty cool. So yeah, that's that. And then this one, I can't, as far as I know right now, I even messaged them when I first started doing CGC. I cannot get this CGC graded, but it's one of my cooler pieces. It's Star Wars number 1, but the Marvel Special Edition. This thing is massive. Like, to give you a scale, in its CGC case, it's bigger. Like, this is massive. This is a massive thing. And this actually, funnily enough, was something my grandmother found at a garage sale for like $1. And it's just a cool piece for anybody who's a Star Wars collector or a comic book collection like I am. Like, I'm both. I'm a Star Wars fan and a comic book fan. So to get that is really cool. I hope someday CGC puts out a size to get this graded. Because there are other, like, things put out there that DC and Marvel put out, I think, that are like these massive comics. They're like beyond magazine size. So I would love to be able to get this CGC graded, just because the unfortunate truth of it is, sitting it out, it'll eventually start to fade and deteriorate slightly no matter what I do. So I'd love to be able to get this protected, because it's so cool. It's one I wouldn't even read. You know, I want to keep that safe and protected. Now I want to show you a couple that I'm going to get CGC graded, partially just because they're cool, and also just because they're some of my more, I wouldn't even say super rare. I don't have anything super high end. Like, my most valuable comic is probably the Wonder Woman #1. Maybe something else in my comic set. But that most likely is the Wonder Woman #1. So, like, I'm not a huge, I don't have $1,000 comics, but this was actually pretty cool, because this is actually by, this is the Last Ronin #1. It just came out, but it's actually a limited print variant that was through Very Gary Comics, a guy on YouTube. If you want to learn about comics and CGCing and all that stuff, he's one of my recommended go-to channels. I'll see if I can put a link for him down below. I think he actually knows the artist of this cover, the RGB. I can't remember the name of him, but he got a limited run of like $750 or something for this. So it actually shows. Sacrilege, I'm going to take it out of the bag, but I want to show you real quick without it. Like, I don't mind promoting the guy, because he's been helpful for me getting into this again, because I stopped for a while. But yeah, so he has his own logo and all. I want to have a logo like that someday, just something cool for my own self. But yeah, so I'm gonna skip this sent to CGC when I've got enough money saved up, because it costs money to do these. It costs like $18 for the modern for me, plus shipping and all that crap. And so usually I send a batch of like 6 or 7. Now these two are ones I just got recently. I went out to a guy in the local area. He said he had a box of comics, and these are pretty cool. Actually, this is actually King Size Annual Avengers #10 from '81. And I believe the big deal with this one, if I'm remembering correctly, is it's actually like the first appearance. Rogue, I gotta check that again. I might be wrong on that. Don't quote me. But it's like the first appearance of somebody, because that shocking mystery guest there. And it's a fairly important one, so it's actually a valuable comic. So I want to get that graded and sealed. And then the other one is another little X-Men one. It's the Uncanny X-Men 139. But it welcomes Kitty Pryde, Shadowcat, into the X-Men service. So it's like her first appearance as Shadowcat in the X-Men, which is just a minor little key. I need to clean this up. This has been sitting for so long that it's got dust all over the back. But it's in really good shape. And it's cool. It's just another one to add to my collection kind of deal. So I thought it was cool. I thought it was a nice one. It looks in good shape. The bag is not doing it justice. It's unfortunately, the original bag has been sitting for probably 20 years. It's got a little bit of exterior damage on the bag, but the comic itself, again, I'm very careful about doing this because I don't want the comic to get worse. I don't want to be like the reason why it goes from like a 8.5 to an 8 is because I pulled it out of the bag and did something stupid. But it's super clean. Hopefully that doesn't have too much glare because of the light. But yeah. And then, so that's some of the comics. I have more. Like, I have a stack of like 60 comics I think I'm going to be sending to CGC over the next, probably next year. Because as I said, I do about maybe 7, 8 at a time when I get the money for it. But yeah. And then, now Funkos was something I swore I wouldn't get into for the longest time, but then the world conspired against me in a way. I found things that I really liked, and then I kind of like, oh, that's cool. I'd love to have that sitting on my shelf. And then got gifts, and then I would order a mystery bag of stuff from like a comic convention, open it up, and there was a Funko sitting in the bottom. And it wasn't any big Funko, but now I can't get rid of it. You know, I got to keep it for a little while. But yeah, so there's stuff now that I'm collecting with Funkos. I've got probably not a ton, but 20 or 30 in my own personal collection. And then I'm actually trying to do some buying and selling with that stuff because I came across some stuff at low prices that I don't personally want, but if somebody could use, I'd rather get it out of the hands of, you know, where it was. Because I went to one of those, like, bin rummaging places, and I found a bunch of stuff, so I gotta put those up so people can get them so they're in a decent shape still. But these are some of my personal collection. So one of the things is I'm a big Marvel fan, and I'm more specifically a big Fantastic Four fan, but there's an important character in the Fantastic Four that has a predecessor in a way. The Human Torch originally appeared in the Golden Age of comics. He's actually Marvel Comics #1 issue first appearance. He actually shows it on the back. That's kind of cool. And he's actually like an android or something, where he's not human. Whereas in the Fantastic Four, he's Johnny Storm, the younger brother of Sue Storm. He's a full human. But he's just a really cool figure in my head, because it's something where like I didn't expect them to put out something like this. So as a Marvel Comics fan, a Fantastic kind of Four fan, Human Torch fan, the fact that I could get something where he's original Human Torch, it was just kind of cool. It's not a big, expensive figure, but he's a cool figure for my own personal. And then these have just started coming out. I'm going to show you both at the same time, because why not? Because they're pretty much the same. And they're supposedly going to be doing a set of 5. These are the street art pops. I have Miles Morales and Daredevil. There's another version of Miles. Art isn't different, but it has a different sticker. So the one in there's like one that's actually from the convention, and these are the ones they put out that are based off the limited edition fall convention ones compared to the New York City actual convention ones. And then there's going to be a Captain America that got delayed, I heard, and I don't know who the other 2 are going to be. But these are kind of cool. They're different. Again, they're different from other things because they actually have like a backboard. I don't know if you can see that. Maybe I can show them like the back there. You can see he's got like a stone wall around him on the back. So those are just kind of cool. I liked them, so I decided to get them for myself. And that's the unfortunate thing, is now that I start collecting something, I'm going to go down the rabbit hole. This is the most valuable Funko I have in my collection. The same guy I bought the comics from. Oh, I should probably move these over here again. The same guy I bought the comics from, I went to for the first time just because I saw he had like a Facebook ad. He has like a little own collection store where he has all kinds of stuff up for sale. And I was walking through and perusing his stuff, and I came across a small batch of Funkos he had. They were all Star Wars. And 2 of the other ones weren't really valuable, but they were cool, so I grabbed them for myself. But then this one is a General Grievous Walgreens exclusive from 2016, and it consistently sells. I don't like talking money on my own personal collection, because in a way I don't care about the value. But it's important to note this, because this is why, like, I purposefully, like, he's in the hard box. He's in a, what they call it, a stacky boy or something that the pop community calls him. I don't know. But he's like a consistent $100 Funko, which as a collector I understand, but part of my brain just goes, isn't it just a cool toy? And he's not in perfect shape. He's got little dings and stuff, but yeah. So I just wanted, but yeah, that's it. I have a lot more CGC comics, a fair few more Funkos that I could kind of show off. I also do like mystery box buys and stuff like that of Funkos and comics from time to time. So I kind of wanted to get the feel for what people were interested in. As a change of pace on my channel, would you guys be interested in seeing more Funko box stuff, more comic stuff? Like, when I get my next CGC comic box in, I have one out right now with 3 Jokers 2 and Wonder Woman 7. Would you like to see what I get in that as like a reveal, you know? Because if you would, I'll do a thing like that. If not, then I could just show you off later. But let me know. Leave me a comment down below what you'd like to see more of. If you want to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you know when I go live or when I post up new videos, please do. And if you want to leave a like, that'd be awesome. But otherwise, you guys are... Thank you for watching. And if I can find where I put the thing... You guys have a good night and good morning wherever you are. Bye-bye.